What's up, nation? Welcome to another edition of the Wise Take MLB DFS podcast. I'm your host, CK013. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013. And I am joined once again by the triple. That's right, triple OG of the Wise Take Nation. Mr. Patio Joe. You could find him on Twitter at Patio Joe Ref. Joey, my man, what's happening, bro?
Not much, man. It's Tuesday night, just chilling, watching a little college baseball. It's my favorite time of the year, the next month, where conference baseball tournaments are started, and then College World Series and the regionals start in a week, and then College World Series starts in June, and DFS starts up and stuff like that, and basically anything but the NBA or NHL, I'm pretty much into,
Yes. So, like, you said DFS, not college baseball, right? Like, they don't have that.
No.
Let me ask you a question. If they had a DFS for college baseball, would you play it, or would that kind of, like, do you like having, like, some of these sports where, like, it's still pure to you, like, from that perspective? Like, would it...
I don't. You'd have to follow it a hell of a lot more than I do.
Yeah.
Like, I like watching it at like conference tournament time when it's like all they're playing and stuff. And I will watch a random game if I happen to have time. But it's like the games on now. They start at like 7:30 in the morning on the West Coast.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, and they're on all day. Like the SEC tournament today had 4 games on that started at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they just finished. Like 10 minutes ago.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. So you are a college baseball fan. They have the SEC tournaments on like their own network, and then the ACC tournament has it. The Big 12 tournament has it. The Big 10 tournament has it. And it's all now on TV. So when I was playing college ball, watch a college baseball game on television was like amazing because it was never on television.
Right.
But now it's like everywhere. If you really want to watch it, you can watch it on, ESPN, ESPNU, the Ocho, wherever, you know what I mean? Right. So it's like, it's kind of awesome. If you're a baseball fan, it's really cool.
Yeah, man. No, I'm with it, man. It's always funny too, like when you watch a college game, when you happen to come across one on TV, obviously it's not as like, touted as regular college sports, but like football or basketball, I should say. But when you hear that ding from the metal bats, you're just like, whoa, like, I'm watching the Little League World Series right here. And then it's like, no, he's a grown-ass man up there, or, kids, but you know what I mean, like swinging away those metal bats. And like, it's funny, like growing up, you play in these leagues with metal bats, you don't think nothing of it. But nowadays, like looking at like some of the hard contact rates, some of the exit velocities, all that, and you picture like pitching to somebody that's got a metal bat, and it's just terrifying. It's just like, it's like...
Yeah, I love the college game. I've been to Omaha twice for the College World Series.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's just if you're a baseball fan, just in general, you will enjoy it just because the whole city just comes alive and vendors everywhere and stuff like that. It's just an amazing experience. My favorite by far baseball experience I've ever been to, and I loved it so much. I went a second time. And I'm hoping to go back there with my son someday. It'll be awesome.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Speaking of awesome, I explained to you, like, being part of the Wise stream today, you were in the chat, so you saw the whole show. You were in there wheeling and dealing with the nation. A lot of stuff we all agreed on. The Yankees, right? All three of us really strong on the Yankee stack. All three of us like Kershaw. I then, like the genius that I can be at times, I decided to go back and, like, I'm going to build a couple hedge teams because I'm a little worried. Like, long story short, DFS went to crap today, despite the fact that my top stack was the Yankees and Kershaw was my favorite pitcher. I just couldn't make it work because I just kind of, just did the voodoo to myself. And I did the cardinal sin, something I never normally do. And I did a tilt bet. I did a tilt parlay bet with the Giants underdogs and the Padres underdogs. And the Padres come from behind and win. The Giants down like 3-1 in the ninth inning. They come from behind and win. The Giants scored 3 runs in 1 inning. Can you believe that? To give me the win, and it was just glorious. So while my DFS did not go, like I was so angry because I know I wasted an opportunity. When you get so much stuff right, you didn't put it together. It's like, oh. But you know what? All is forgiven in my book because I was given this glorious parlay win. So it was good. And Joe, I believe you were saying you had a decent night yourself, right? Like,
Yeah, I did. I've been doing this new strategy. Me and Paulie have been kind of toying around with, where we're basically entering more lower level single entry tournaments and kind of like just throwing the donkeys out a little bit for right now and letting the money kind of. We kind of feel like you're kind of wasting money, especially on slates that are just huge.
Right.
So, and it was a couple of like kind of like a little bit of a slump for about a week or so for me. So like I wanted to try something different to kind of get back to basics and kind of get what I do right. So I've been doing this thing where I've been kind of cutting down my bankroll just a little bit, but I've been putting them in just lower level single entry tournaments, and I've been having really good success the last few days. And today was nothing different. I had 6 lineups to where I had Kershaw on 2, I had Marquez on 2, Quintana on 1, and I had Turnbull on 1. So the Kershaw and Marquez lineups were really good. Both of them cashed. One of them with a twin stack, a 4-man twin stack, which really came through at the end. Nobody really had the Twins. I really liked that play. And then the other one that came through was the Yankee stack that we talked about with Kershaw. I had that in the chat. If you remember in the chat, I said Kershaw had the number 1 umpire. He was also striking the team. He strike out most against lefties. He wasn't the highest pitcher on the slate. Obviously, Verlander was great, and Marquez was had an amazing matchup too, and his price was amazing. But I also said another thing in the chat that the 4, 5, 6, 7 stack on FanDuel was my favorite, and that proved out to be pretty good if you played it because that was Hicks, Torres, Urshela, and Frazier. And Frazier hit a double dong, and Hicks, Torres, and Urshela all did things too. So pretty good day overall for me.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, I know even Stevie, who he did a Twitter thing. I think what Dan and some of the guys have been trying to do is at the Wise Take Twitter at Wise_Take. By the way, for those of you that aren't following on Twitter, he's been posting like tweets, a dong of the day, just a free home run call, and Stevie's was Gary the Goat, and it was just right out the gate, first home run of the night. Like, I say it's obvious if you will, but hey, it is what it is, man. It worked. He did the dirty. So yeah. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. But in general, man, I think everybody. I read Dan's article. Dan had the Yankees highlighted as his top stack as well, and just in general, man, I think that Verlander. Everybody kind of knew Verlander was gonna. We said try to make it work. Jacob Bradley Jr. was a guy that we all touted for value, and he finally did his thing in a home run. Paulie had mentioned he's a very streaky player, and that's been the case. He hit a home run the other night. Hit another one today. But just in general, man, a lot of good vibes. It's just I think like the issue today, maybe for me personally, was kind of putting it all together. And but it does seem like everybody's kind of getting on that fast track for a hot streak, man. It's coming. It is coming, Joe. Anyway, we have a pretty big slate, so we'll jump in. We're going to talk about the main slate. I will write an article for the early slate as usual for Wise Take subscribers at wisetake.com. In the meantime, we're going to talk about this main slate. Looking at cash games, Joe, we have quite a few options to discuss. Who's the one that stands out to you the most as an SP1 and your main pitcher on FanDuel? Cash games.
Boy, I'll tell you what, it's kind of tricky up top. I think we have 3 guys up top with Cole, DeGrom, and Scherzer. And we've seen it before where I think we had this matchup on opening day. We had Cole and DeGrom and Scherzer. And I faded that matchup for somebody else. And then we got Garrett Cole up top at 11-7 going against the White Sox. It's pretty much the same thing as today with Verlander. If you want to pay up, I think if you're paying up tomorrow, I'm going to Cole. But to me on FanDuel, you're going to laugh. To me, Rich Hill, 8,300. I'm attacking the same team, as I tacked today, they strike out the most against lefties. Rich Hill is coming off his best performance of the year against Cincinnati, 6 innings, 10 strikeouts, 2 hits. In Cincinnati, a bad ballpark. He's got a better ballpark now. And that right now, first look, 8,300 on FanDuel. I like him. On DK, he's too expensive. They priced him up because they saw the pro matchup. He's 10-2, so I am not paying for him up there. But on FanDuel, he is very, very nice.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I think on DraftKings, I agree. He's a little too close in price. Like he's like $300 less than DeGrom. It's like it's just not worth it. Over there, Garrett Cole, like you said, if you can make that work, awesome. He's 12K on DraftKings, very very expensive, maybe tough to get the bats you want. If you can make that work, great. If not, I do think a lot of people will go down to the Scherzer DeGrom level. DeGrom is actually the favorite. We'll see if that changes tomorrow, but both matchups are pretty good. The Washington, I mean, to be honest, the Mets offense, even though they've kind of like they've sort of been scoring runs somehow, they're the ones. You look at Scherzer and you're like, man, Brendan DeMo was hurt today. If he misses again, and the Mets have two lefties with Conforto out, Scherzer's going to see a heavy right-handed lineup of a bunch of guys that really do strike out a ton. So that's kind of but he's an underdog, and that's something a lot of people in cash games don't like to play underdogs, and so it'll be interesting to see where it goes. The Mets are, even though they're favored, they're still only projected for 3.3 runs, so it's not like they're world beaters or anything. But yeah, I agree. I think it's a conversation tomorrow. It's not like it's open up, click it. It's a conversation based off lineup construction. Who else are you prioritizing, and how much money do you need? But on FanDuel, I'll agree with you that you're getting a pretty good discount to take a shot on a guy like Rich Hill against the Rays, who have been bad against lefties all season. SP2s for DraftKings, Joe. Is there anybody you see maybe a little cheaper we can lean on there?
Yeah, I mean, to me, if SP2s for DraftKings, I would look at Matt, our boy Perez at 8,700. I think he's priced a little bit below where he should be tomorrow. Going against the Angels. I know they don't strike out that much, but Perez has been pretty damn good. And at 8,700, I'm willing to take my shot at that. I'd also go for Max Fried against the Giants. You know that they're not going to kill you. You know what I mean? It's just I don't see it. So I'm cool with that. But those are the only two. Everything else below, I probably want to attack.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Or at least anybody below is more of a tournament option. I would agree with you that it seems fitting if you can make it work to go with a Fried or Perez. You just go for it. I like Fried a little bit more as of now, and it's more so about the offenses. I'm just less afraid of the San Francisco offense. But I agree that you can make a case for both, and their prices on DraftKings are very similar, only a $200 difference. Let's talk tournaments before we go on to bats, Joe. Like, does your SP1's options change at all in tournaments? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I think Scherzer then is a great pivot from Cole. Like you brought up, depending on the lineup that these Mets throw out there tomorrow, if they only have two lefties, they'll probably try to throw another one out there if they have another one. Do they have anybody else that they can throw out there?
I don't think so, man. You got Cano, McNeil. That's it for a team that had so many lefties. Conforto's hurt. That's it. I don't think we have any money on the bench that's left-handed. I think that's all we got.
Yeah, so up top, that would be the pivot off of Garrett Cole, I think. And I DeGrom, I just don't really want to go there. The Nats are pretty decent offense. He's 10-8. He's pretty much the same price as Scherzer. So I'm not with it. Perez is okay, but he's just the price on FanDuel is a little bit too much in that area. Whereas he's 9,400.
I mean, he's earned it. Don't get me wrong. He's played well, but wow.
Yeah. So that's where I'm going there. I think the other guys on FanDuel, I think on a GPP, if you're looking down a little ways, you got to look at John Gray. I mean, look what Marquez did today against these same Pirates. Gray has better luck outside of Coors too, so I'd be willing to throw at John Gray. Everything else below there, you'd really have to be going a lot of lineups for me to get there, I think.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I think looking at SP1, like I kind of like DeGrom in tournaments as of now, and it's because of that. Like you have other guys, so people aren't forced to play him, right? He's coming off a game where he just got beat up by the Marlins. You know what I'm saying? The Marlins. So I just think from an ownership perspective, I think a lot of people are going to be hesitant to click his name when you have Scherzer and Cole and some of these other guys in his area, even Rich Hill, who on DraftKings, like you said, is only a couple hundred cheaper. So I'm thinking that we may be able to get the Grom a little lower owned than we normally would, and it's just everything kind of going in that way. I agree with you that like the Washington offense is a little more intimidating. I will admit that, and you're really really worried about the Grom getting the win. Like doesn't seem very likely against Scherzer. You do have two terrible bullpens here, so we'll have to see what happens. But that gives me like that raises my interest in DeGrom just a little bit. He's 10-5, so he's not overly priced, and I think his ownership is going to be relatively low considering how good of a pitcher he is. And one thing we know about DeGrom is he always has pitched better at home. So this will be a home game. But I'm with you. Like the pitchers in that game, you're looking at these offenses and you're like, no thanks. Like you know what I'm saying? Like both those pitchers are pretty prime. Let me ask you a question. On this is a DraftKings only kind of thing. Miami kind of has been heating up, man. We saw them like they swept the Mets and they went in today and they put up some runs on Turnbull, who's been really good this year. They're facing Daniel Norris in Detroit. We got two bad offenses going at it again. Jose Urena, Daniel Norris. If you needed the salary relief, do either of these guys interest you in tournaments, or are you just like, I just can't do it? These guys just suck too bad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going as so far as to say, sandpaper.
Not quite sandpaper status.
But you're getting close there. I mean, I think I would rather attack those guys than pitch them, even with these offenses, or just stay away. Right. One other thing on Rich Hill, I'm looking up. He has the number 2 umpire for pitchers tomorrow.
Man, they got a good favorable pitching rotation down there. That umpire crew.
Churchill had 1, yeah, and it looks like Rich Hill had number 2, so that makes it even better.
Juicy. Let's go over to bats, Joe. Let's talk about some of the bats. I'm going to ask you about a few offenses. I'd like you to talk to me about the ones you're interested in, maybe the ones you're not so interested in, and maybe if you're interested in all three, you could rank them. But the Yankees are going to be the first one I'm going to ask you about. 6.4 projected run total. It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's Baltimore and Baltimore. We've seen Cashner. We've seen today it was Hess. Now we have Straley, who's also been just a huge victim of the home run. The other offenses I want you to consider are going to be the Boston Red Sox against Aaron Sanchez, projected for 5.3 runs. The Houston Astros against Ivan Nova, projected for 5.6 runs. And the last offense I'll categorize here. We don't have a Vegas total, but I'm assuming it's going to be very high in this game. And that's because as of right now, I'm seeing 15-mile-per-hour winds blowing out to left center in Chicago in Wrigley Field, where we know the winds play a huge factor. And that team I'm going to talk about is the Chicago Cubs going against Cole Irvin. Talk to me about some of those offenses. Does one pop out more than the other? What do you think?
Well, the Yankees, to me, they pop out as the play. I want to see the lineup that they roll out again. They did price up some of the players, like Torres is now up at 4K now. Kendrys Morales is at 2.6. So you're going to have to really be picky on what you want. DJ LeMahieu was 3.5 on FanDuel. So I would like it. I don't know if I could go for a full stack. It depends on what you're going to want for pitching value. See what opens up. The team right now also that sticks out to me is the Twins again, going against Matt Harvey. I like these lefties against Harvey. They stick out to me, as well as the Chicago game. When the wind is blowing out like that, if that's the thing, it's like Coors. It could be better than Coors. And you just basically want to have a game stack, and then you probably would want to fade it just in case it goes bad. But everybody will go there, and you'll have especially, Albert Almora, leading off at 2.7, against a Cole Irvin, the lefty. Then you got Hamels on the other side, so everybody will want to play that game. And then the Astros is another team. They a little bit disappointed today. So I could see, it depends on if Springer's coming back and stuff like that. But I'm I'm willing to go back there. I think you could play the Astros every single day and not be disappointed most of the time. The only team that I'm not really that warm on is the Red Sox. They've shown to be good at home, but on the road, I haven't really been able to like kind of pick them right. And Sanchez can kind of troll a little bit, so I'm not. I'd have to really dig into them
Yeah,
tomorrow.
no, I hear you. I think the Yankees, I agree with you. I think they look like the optimal way to go against Straley, and you're getting a terrible bullpen from Baltimore. Great park, great hitting environment. And I today they were actually not as high owned. Like everybody that liked them was worried how chalky they would be, and they really weren't that popular because a lot of people elected to pay up for pitching. And I was like, I was even more mad at myself for like lowering my exposure on the Yankees, even though they were clearly the top stack. And it was just the ownership thing that kind of freaked me out a little bit. And it wasn't that bad when I actually saw the full stack. I was, you got to be kidding me! They're not even chalk. And I think maybe this time it'll be a little different with a 6.4 run total. A lot of people missed the boat on the Yankees today. And that kind of makes me like the Cubs a little bit. This Cole Irvin kid has looked good, so to speak. And if you look at his game logs, he's not getting beat up. But this guy's got a lot of regression coming. He does not strike guys out. He's going to go up against the Cubs. Hopefully, Javi Baez is in this lineup. Javi Baez does have a Q tag. He's been nursing a little injury, but he did pinch hit recently, which to me is a sign that, like, evidently he's healthy enough. But Wilson Contreras, an interesting pivot off of Gary Sanchez. I'm talking DraftKings, of course, where you have to play catchers. Wilson Contreras is 5-1. Gary the Goat is 5-5. I want to know which one of these is going to win out in terms of ownership, and I want to go the other way. And then you have like those secondary teams like the Red Sox, the Houston. I will say this about the Red Sox. I'm with you. They haven't looked so great. JD Martinez wasn't in the lineup. You got to see. But Jackie Bradley Jr. is still cheap at 2.6. His one of the only pitches that he really hits well is a sinker. Aaron Sanchez, we know, does throw some of those. And we know Jackie Bradley Jr. to be a streaky player, so that's one value play that I can already see I'm going to kind of need if I want to stack the Cubs, if I want to stack the Yankees, and I still want to play at least one primo pitcher. So that's one thing I'm here. But right now the Cubs and the Yankees definitely to me look like a level above the rest. And I'm with you on the Twins. That's a great point. Matt Harvey, the Twins hitting a ridiculous amount of home runs again today. They didn't score a crap ton of runs, but they certainly hit a big home run. I think Marvin Gonzalez hit a big jack. That's just their game, man.
Wind blowing out.
Yeah, 13 mile an hour winds blowing out to
hour.
right. We know that they lowered the fence down there, so it's not as tall, and it's led to an increase in home runs for lefties. So I'm with you, man. I think the Twins' offense, at least the lefties in the city, and it's Harvey. You could really play anyone, but especially the lefties, Rosario, Kepler, Polanco, are poised to be in a great spot. Is there any other offenses you wanted to kind of go over? I think we touched on the big ones.
I think that we got to also look at the Cardinals tomorrow against Homer Bailey. In that game in St. Louis, it's a doubleheader.
Yeah, that's on the okay. So that's not on. I thought it was on the DraftKings slate also, but it's not. So that's on the FanDuel main slate, right? It's 11 games on FanDuel, 10 games on DraftKings. Okay.
It is. So their 5.5 run total against Homer Bailey at home. Boy, that's pretty tempting. You know what I'm saying? Like some of these Cardinals, they're finally priced up a little bit. Like Carpenter's finally up at 3.8. So obviously they finally moved his price up. So they're a little expensive. But they used to have a little bit more salary relief, but I'll still take a look at them. I don't know. The thing is, I don't know how many people will go there just because they know that they have a first game, so they don't know what lineup they're going to be rolling out. A lot of people don't like be doing late swap, yada yada yada. So it's a place where if you're doing a lot of lineups, or if you're willing to be by your computer to switch out a lineup or something like that, I think you might be able to get them very very low.
Yeah, man. I think that makes sense for sure. I think that's. There's one other low-owned offense that I kind of like, and it's actually your Dodgers, Joe. I know it's a terrible park, it's a good all that stuff, but it's Chirinos, a guy that kind of gets by on strikeouts, and the Dodgers they're tough to strike out against righties. So It's a huge park. Nobody's going there. They're getting 9 hitters. They put up runs today, and they were all really cheap. A lot of their guys hit value. Chris Taylor was 3,100 on DraftKings, and I think he put up like an 11. Kiki put up like a 7 or an 8. He was only 3,300. They were really good punts. That may not be the case tomorrow. We'll have to see what their prices look like. I would imagine it's going to be up a little. How about Beatty doing the or your coach Dave Roberts doing the old Tro job? I know Beatty was like a trendy value play today.
2-1, and then they put him in.
Yeah,
with
once
Freeze
Beats came in, they put Freeze in, right? Yeah.
And if you think about it, playing the Dodgers against in an American League park is really a good way to, because you have one of the best offenses in baseball with an extra hitter.
Yeah, you can't pitch around the hitter.
So so you kind of like it. Now tomorrow it seems like they're just going to throw all their lefties at him.
Yeah.
And they're all going to go at him because they threw Beeks today, and tomorrow's going to be Stanek with Chirinos coming in. So it's righties and righties.
A lot more safe, yeah.
Yeah, so I like it. They will be, because there's no run total right now, so they'll be a little bit low owned too, because people don't like the park, and they didn't hit any home runs today. I don't think it was just singles and stuff like that, and they won 6-3. So, and they're not that expensive. That's the thing. Except for Bellinger, it's kind of funny how one of the best offenses in baseball aren't that expensive.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a terrible park, good ump, we know. But it's also a really good offense that'll be low owned and they're cheap. So if you want to do a build where you get a little different and you pay up for pitching, the Dodgers can help you do that. All right, Joe, we're going to go ahead and do the cash game core and the top threes and all that good stuff. Dong Watch. I did not do it yesterday. I apologize to those of you who watch and listen to us every day. I did forget with Stevie. We did forget to do the top threes and the Dong Watch and all that. It was just a disaster. I hate when I do that. But we will not forget today. I promise you that. With that said, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm just kidding. We're gonna do the cash game core. Before that, I'm gonna remind everybody one more time. If you haven't checked us out at YC.com, make sure you get over there. I highly recommend, if you do get a day pass today, if you have a membership and you didn't get a chance to check it out, me and Paulie did do a strategy session earlier. It's archived on the site. You can go find it in the strategy section of MLB. But we discussed stacking, and we went over why it's important that you stack. We went over a little bit of how to stack, and just watch it when you can. It's a tournament strategy, stacking. Like the 5-man, 4-man, full max stacking we recommend is for tournaments, not cash games. But go over there when you get a chance. If you have a day pass, as long as you have access for MLB content that day, you'll have access to that video. You just go to wisestick.com, go to the MLB strategy section. You can actually watch the video. We show you some pretty cool information, and we think that it'd be useful and to help you on your quest to dominate the DFS world. So check that out. With that said, get a day pass tomorrow. You get access to 2 slates. So you'll get my article for the early slate. You'll get all the content for the main slate, which is the Y stream, with Patio Joe and Paulie D tearing it up on the Y stream 2 hours before lock after they've done their research. You get Cam's cheat sheet. Joey's on the cash game article. Then the Dan on the GPP article. It's just time to rock. I've been putting up bets on the site. We're up plus like 27 units on the year so far in MLB. Free bets. I just put it up there because I just love the nation so much. But yeah, it's a great place to be. Get a day pass, try us out, come join the nation, make you better at DFS. That's the bottom line. Dropping 7s on them. For those of you that couldn't see because you're listening on the audio version, I was literally holding up 7 fingers and throwing it into the camera, and you couldn't see it because you're listening to audio. Anyway, Joe, cash game core, first guy in. We just go with Cole for now? What do you think?
No,
Rich Hill, you go on FanDuel though. What about on DraftKings?
FanDuel. On DraftKings, I'm gonna go with
Right?
Yeah, on DraftKings, I'm gonna go with Cole to start off with.
And then we'll plug in Freed for now. Is that cool? 200. Save the $200 from another guy. All right, who's the stud, Joey? Is it a Yankee?
I don't know if he's a stud, but I'm just gonna go with the chalk BVP play to just piss off the BVPers, the anti-BVPers. But Justin
Smoke Dog
with 5 home runs off of Porcello in 40 at bats.
Rick Porcello.
Well hit.
Smoke Dog.
So I will go off of him. Well, I bet you his price on DK is not that as expensive compared to some other guys.
He's 3,800. So. He's not even that expensive over here.
Yeah, it's not that bad, and he's 3,300 on FanDuel. Let's see. Value. I want to go with Albert Almora of the Cubs on FanDuel. He should be leading
I
off.
like it. I like it.
What's his price on
4,300. He's not even cheap over here. He's more expensive than Justin Smoke.
Yeah, so they basically just priced him
So
up.
it seems to be a little different on the sites. Like I think for DraftKings, I'm gonna go with Kendrys Morales, assuming he's playing. He didn't play today because of Romine, and I think Romine they needed because of Domingo Herman. He throws a lot of breaking balls, and they just didn't want to throw out Gary defensively. But I think if Morales being a lineup, he's only 3,600 against Straley. So on DraftKings, I'll plug him in for the savings, and then give me what about a stud on DraftKings? Just like a Chris Bryant. How about that against a lefty in Chicago? Red hot.
I was gonna say either that or
Yeah,
Baez
if Baez is in there, he's just fine too.
Yeah, he's the same. Basically, they're the same price. Baez is actually a little bit less.
Yeah,
so
if he's in there, you can do that. One good thing about Chris Bryant on DraftKings is he is multiple position eligible. You can play him at third base or outfield, so it allows you with some flexibility. But and Bryant's just been hot, man. He's just been out of this world hot. He's just been.
Let me ask you one more team. I know they won 4-0 today, and what about the Rockies? They're playing this D Rapao. Is this going to be a bullpen game for the?
Yeah. I wonder, like, I don't know if it's going to be. They've done this with like Brault and some of their other guys who have struggled to start. So I don't know if it's gonna be Brault or whatever. If it is Brault, you could definitely go there. But that is a good point. They're going to be low owned. It's going to be a bullpen game. It's a big park. Nobody's going to want to go there. That's going to be something that really only MME people are going to probably have. That and fans of the respective teams. So never mind. It's gonna be low for sure.
Interesting. Yeah.
Top 3 pitchers overall, Joe.
Top 3 pitchers tomorrow. I'm going to go with Cole, Scherzer, and then Hill.
I'm going to go with Jacob deGrom, number 1, Max Scherzer, number 2. I'll go with Max Fried, number 3, but I mean, I obviously like Cole, but realistically, I just don't know if I'm going to be able to play him because I really like these offenses. Top 3 stacks, Joe.
Top 3 stacks tomorrow. We're going to go with the Cubs, number 1. Number 2 is going to be the Yankees, and number 3 is going to be the Twins.
I'm with it, man. Cubs number 1 for me as well. Yankees number 2. You could flip-flop that all day if you want to. It doesn't make a difference. I love them both. And why not? Let's go with the Twins, Joe. I'm with you, man. Attack Harvey. I know Joe's a big fan of the Twins. He got no choice. It was kind of put upon him. So
Busted me. And then late night too, like
late night hammer,
yes,
against Matt Harvey. It sounds wonderful. Dong Wash Show. Who's going deep?
Smoke.
I like it. Smoke Dog number 1 off the board. I'm gonna go Chris Bryant.
I'm gonna go with Cody Bellinger tomorrow.
Cody B. I'm with it. Let's go with Kendrys Morales.
And I'm gonna go with. Let's go with a little bit off the grid because I had the Canna call last week, so I want to keep it going a little bit off the grid for the nation because I have been a little hot with that, so I want to put a little bit off the chalk. So let's see. Anybody I can really. Nah, I already picked one of Blue Jays. I'm gonna thought maybe. No, I'm not going with him either. Sorry, nation. I was taking my time. Nobody's really coming out at me. Daniel Murphy.
Daniel Murphy. All right, that's definitely off the wall.
That is off the wall, but he is cheap, and today he did quite well. So
did he finally have a good game? He's been ass for a while. That guy, Murph the Smurf. That's what I used to call him when he was a Met. Got a dub sack. I'm gonna go with Eddie Rosario. Keep it simple, right? Matt Harvey. Let's go. That's going to do it for the Wise Take DFS podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, please click that thumbs up, that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on Facebook, give us a like and a share to support the Wise Take Nation. If you're watching us on Twitch or Twitter, give us a follow, give us a retweet. And if you're listening to us on Podbean or iTunes, give us some 5-star reviews. Joey, anything in closing before we get out of here?
Not much, man. Guys, get a day pass, get a weekly pass, get a monthly pass. Join the nation. Join me and Paulie tomorrow on the wide stream, breaking the slate down.
How to drop sevens in multiple different ways on him. For Patio Joe, for myself, the entire Wise Take Nation, as always, good luck.
Peace.